Alright, so NFL Week 14 was here. Now it's gone. So let's talk about it, and we're going to start this off with the Thursday night game, which of course was the Bears and the Cowboys. The Bears ended up winning that 31-24, really keeping their playoff hopes slightly alive. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but they have a possibility still too. But the main takeaway from this game was just the Cowboys and Trubisky, as he's playing decent, you could say now. Well, the last 2 weeks have been really good, but both teams weren't really known for their defenses either. On the Cowboys side, Garrett's gone. Jason Garrett's just gone. He's terrible for that organization. Maybe it's the owner, but we don't really have any proof of that yet. It's right now, all the blame goes to Jason Garrett. He's not developing the talent that Jerry Jones wants him to, so he's gone, given the boot. Next, we had the Buccaneers, and they ended up being the Indianapolis Colts, 38-35. And Jameis Winston played the game like he pretty much played the whole season, as if it was down, then up, then down, then up, as he had 3 interceptions, then had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's just Jameis Winston and a loophole pretty much. Throws picks, throws the ball a lot for a lot of yards and touchdowns. But with this loss, Colts season's over pretty much. Like, there's a 1% chance they make the playoffs, but they won't go anywhere, so there's no reason even hoping for that. And then the Broncos ended up beating the Houston Texans 38-24. Drew Luck honestly looked really good. The whole coaching staff in Denver's done a really good job with the lineup they have, especially with Bradley Chubb, one of their star defensive players, being out for the year from like one of the first games. They've done a very good job with this team. A lot better than what a lot of people would have thought, really. If you look at the roster up and down, this roster doesn't look like they would win many games, but they've won the past 2 weeks now with Drew Lock as their quarterback, so maybe it was just a quarterback problem. And then Houston, they just looked flat-footed to begin the game. The second half, they came out. They were making a decent comeback at the end, but that was pretty much garbage time because Denver was up by a lot to start the half, and then it just went up downhill from there. So that was that game. Falcons and Panthers, I don't really have much to say. Falcons won 40-20. Maybe Quinn keeps his job. Who knows at this point. Then one of the pretty good games of the week was the Ravens and the Bills, as the Ravens beat the Bills 24-17. And once again, the Baltimore Ravens won in defensive game. So that Baltimore Ravens defense is something to fear, as it really always has been with Harbaugh as their coach. But now they have the offensive mind of Lamar Jackson going around and doing his thing. So this the combination of those two is pretty much why they're Super Bowl favorites right now too. Then the Browns ended up beating the Bengals 27-19. And really, this game was actually really a lot closer than what you might think, as the Bengals had a chance to tie this at the end of the game. Because they had the ball, 4th down. They had a chance to go score a touchdown. And it was like inside the 10-yard. It was inside the 20 or 10-yard line. They could go score a touchdown. It'd be a 2-point game. They could have to make 2-point conversion. Goes to overtime. Then who knows what happens from there. And the Browns are still not playing up to what they should be, though, as they're really playing down on another level. When you have a close game with the Bengals, that's just depressing. But also a good thing to take away is Joe Mixon had another very good game. After a slow start to the year, he's finally shaping up to what he was previously. So that's a good thing you like to see from Cincinnati. Then the Green Bay Packers beat the Washington Redskins 20-15. At this point, it just looks like the Packers are just big pretenders. I don't know how they're going to do against some good teams. Literally, all the Packers are going to do is hope Rodgers does Rodgers things, and that's how they're going to make it through the playoffs. Because at this point, they are not going to make it far. They should really think their schedule for how many wins they have at this point, and that they played a decent first half of the year at least. Because the second half of the year has not been anything to look at. Then the Vikings ended up beating the Lions 20-7. Don't really have much to say about this. So that brings me to my next game, the game of the week, and a game we all thought would be more of a defensive battle. The 49ers and the Saints, of course. But it was a show out a complete offensive game, as the 49ers won 48-46 on a last-second kick from Robbie Gould, which was set up on a 4th and 2 to George Kittle that went for like 30 or 40 yards with like an extra 15 thanks to the face mask. And all I gotta say, this was a game to watch. If you recorded this game or anything, go rewatch it. This game, it's the best game of the regular season by far. I gotta say so right now. Then the New York Jets beat the Dolphins 22-21, once again on a last-second field goal. And for the Jets that were dominating teams, and then having close games, it's just weird. This Jets team goes on and off and on and off. They're just something else. That's pretty much Adam Gase still throughout his whole career. So, Sam Darnold put up a pretty decent final drive to set up that last-second field goal, though. Then the Chargers beat the Jaguars 45-10. This is the Jaguars' like 3rd or 4th consecutive week just getting blown out to pieces. And it's quite sad. This organization's a mess at this point. Defense needs something. Offense needs something. It just needs a complete rebuild from top to bottom. Yeah, that's what I gotta say. Because right now they aren't gonna do anything in that AFC South. Like the Texans are built. The Colts are building. The Titans are built. Every other team in your division is just built. And then you have the Jaguars, who need offensive players. They need defensive players now. They just need to rebuild that whole team. It started with Jalen Ramsey. I say you just keep trading away players. Nick Foles should be next. Keep Gardner Minshew as your quarterback. Get some picks from Foles. Hopefully some decent ones, like a 2nd rounder. I'd hope so on that at least. And then you get some wide receivers for Minshew to throw to. Maybe trade away some of your defensive players like Calais Campbell, or I don't even know who you guys else have. But that franchise just doesn't look very well. And talking about the Titans, they ended up beating the Raiders 42-21. I gotta say, the Raiders are just mediocre, but really with the season they're having, this has been pretty good. And as many rookies that are playing, it's been a pretty good year for them. So you can't really downfall anything that they've done so far. It's been a good year for Oakland Raider fans. Don't get mad. This team looked like everybody was predicting to go like 3-13 beginning year. I thought they were more of an 8-8 team, which seems like what they are set at. Then Ryan Tannehill is looking at franchise quarterback that the Miami Dolphins drafted him how many other years ago to be, and he didn't end up there. I don't understand why the Jets keep Adam Gase now, seeing how Tannehill's doing right now with Tennessee. They gotta really think about firing Adam Gase so Darnold can actually develop to what he wants to be. But hey, who knows? Some other team might look out from that if Gase stays at New York. And then the Kansas City Chiefs beat the New England Patriots 23-16. I didn't really watch this game. I had to work, so all I heard was Patriots got screwed by the refs. And all I gotta say is, Patriots, welcome to the real world. That's what happens to every other team except for you guys. Except finally it happened to you. So I don't really want to hear you guys complain about it. Then the Steelers beat the Arizona Cardinals 23-17. Ducky Hodges wins another one. Still undefeated. So, and then the Rams beat the Seahawks 28-12. All I gotta say is this NFC West is just weird and very competitive. As even the Cardinals play close games with the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers from time to time. It's fun to watch at least. So if you're a fan of the NFC West, you're really set up for shows from here on out. Then the Eagles beat the Giants in overtime. This is our Monday night game. Eagles won 23-17. And Carson Wentz really did play very well after that first half. So other news that we didn't really see, Dontre Elliman got signed. Patriots signed another kicker. And, of course, you got Spygate 2.0 going on for New England Patriots. All right, then so for my rankings this week, we got the Bengals at 32, Redskins at 31, 30 is the Dolphins, 29 is the Giants, 28 is the Detroit Lions, 27 is the Jaguars, 26 is the Jets, 25 is the Broncos, 24 is the Panthers, 23 is the Cardinals, 22 is the Falcons, 21 is the Chargers, 20 is the Browns, 19 is the Colts, 18 is the Bucks, 17 is the Bears, 16 is the Raiders, 15 is the Eagles, 14 is the Steelers, 13 is the Titans, 12 is the Cowboys, 11 is the Rams, 10 is the Bills, 9 is the Chiefs, 8 is the Patriots, 7 is the Texans, 6 is the Packers, 5 is the Vikings, 4 is the Saints, 3 is the Seahawks, 2 is the 49ers, and at number 1 for me right now is the Baltimore Ravens still, of course. So those were my recaps and my rankings for Week 14 of the NFL. So if you guys agree or disagree with me, tell me why down below. If you got any other recaps or takes you saw from these games, put that down below as well. I'd like to hear it. Also, you got a suggestion for another video, put that down below. I may end up doing it sometime here in the near future. Of course, thanks for watching. Make sure you click those thanks for watching. Make sure to click those links down there. Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And just make sure to keep the sports wheel flowing throughout the day.